Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Forgot to Roll podcast. Welcome to our Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 8 Thoughts video. I just finished watching Episode 8 of Star Trek Discovery Season 2, and I'm just going to be sharing my general thoughts after having just finished it. And I liked this episode because we started off right away with getting a nod to the original series, which I haven't seen a lot of, but I like that you can tell right away that it's obviously the original series. You see original series Spock, you see that original series footage, and that's in connection with the characters, or the alien species that they meet in this one that connects to the original series, which I liked. It was a little nod, like this telepathic species on Talos 4 seems to have was in the original series, and I like that they brought it back in as a connection, especially since Spock had met them before. It's a nice little connection there, and Pike had even the original Pike had met it before, so I really enjoyed that they start off giving us that flashback using the original footage from the original series and then connecting it with this episode. So I really enjoyed this episode for those aspects, and I feel they should probably do this a lot more. I think Star Trek fans would be so much more on board with Star Trek Discovery if they did a lot more of this type of stuff, connecting it back in with the original series or any of the other series, really. I'd love to see a thing where they connect it. Well, I guess the other series don't work since it's taking place before them. Never mind about that. That made no sense. Anyway, some of the things I also liked about this episode is that we find out what's going on with Spock's mind, and we learn that Spock's actually experiencing time as fluid and not as linear, and that makes complete sense to me why his head be screwed up then. I'm just like, okay, yeah, you can't see A to B, you see A to Z to E to F. It's all over the place. Even though those letters weren't all over the place, you get my point. His brains, him seeing time isn't in the straight line that we all perceive it in. He's all jumbled up, and so I understand. I'm like, okay, I get why you need your brain straightened out by these Telosians. Telosians? Is that how it's said? I'm not really sare. But yes, I enjoyed that we learned a little bit about that. We get more of Spock in it. What else do we see? Oh, I enjoyed Hugh having trouble getting back to his normal life, and like Stamets and him kind of struggling to connect. Stamets being like, oh, everything's normal. And Hugh being like, well, no, this is a fresh body. I died. I have the memories of the things I liked and how I felt about them, but I don't feel that same way. And I just really like that idea because we're all a combination of all the effects and experiences and feelings we've had in life. And if your body was reprinted, pretty much, which is what happened to him, if your body was reprinted where you have the same memories but your body had never experienced all those feelings, all those experiences of life, it'd be really hard to connect those things. You'd have memories but not understand the context of how it felt because your body actually never experienced it because you're in a new body. I just really love the kind of metaphysical ideas behind that, and Hugh's kind of struggling to get back to normal life. Because what is normal when you've come back from the dead? I just really enjoyed that aspect, and that they're not putting too much of a focus on it. It's just a nice little little bit of a side plot we get in there, a little bit interesting. I enjoy it. We get a little character development, so I enjoyed that part as well. When Spock finally gets his brain back in order and him and Michael are talking, they're being I just love those two because they feel like siblings just sparring at each other, jab after jab, particularly when Burnham says to Spock, like, do you really think that beard is working? And I'm like, that's such a sister / sibling thing to say to one another, especially when they're pissing you off like Spock would. I just especially since Burnham just helped you, Spock, and you can't even give a little gratitude just because you're upset because she hurt your feelings when you were a kid, even though you understand why she did that. You just want to be a dick about it. But that's why we love Spock. He can be a dick about things just to be a dick about things, but then he's great at other times. Spock. But I just really enjoyed that sibling kind of, I don't want to say rivalry, but sibling conflict we got a little bit there, so I really enjoyed that. And the last thing I had written down is that we get Hugh and Tyler fighting it out. Tyler being the one who killed Hugh when he was Voke, and them finally getting to resolve it. And I like that Saru lets it happen because he's like, you know what, it needed to play itself out. And then I like that Pike understood that, but was also like, no, we can't. This is Starfleet. We don't solve our problems with fists. I'll let it go this one time, but make it clear to everybody we're not fist fighting to solve our problems. And I was like, but I also like that Saru was like, well, it doesn't really cover in the Starfleet manual what to do when you're dealing with a Klingon grafted to a human body and a doctor who's come back from the dead. I was like, Saruk. I love since he's evolved, since he went through that process, that he's got a little bit more sass. He sticks up for himself, and he's got a little bit more gusto, and I really enjoy that little part to his character, because all the first season he's very timid, he's very scared, and now he just kind of stands up for himself, and he should. He's 7 feet tall. He can stand up to anybody. So I just really enjoyed that a little bit, but I also like that, Pike put his foot down a little bit about it, saying we're Starfleet. We don't fist fight our problems out, talk about it, people. But I also like that they did fist fight it out, because when someone murders you, and you come back from the dead, you can have a little tension there, just a little bit. Fist fight's a good way to resolve that tension. But yes, that's all my thoughts for this episode of Star Trek Discovery. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you liked or didn't like about this episode. Thanks again for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.